Hi, Yoli Inch here, and it's Purposefun Friday. So, some people think that there are big picture thinkers and little picture thinkers. And when you've done the 16 personalities, you get to see that in the information that's given to you. So, big picture thinkers tend to see, as it implies, the big picture. They tend to have a helicopter view of life and are good at creativity around the vision and what's possible into the future. Little picture tend to have a more grounded view, and they tend to see things in the everyday and with reality and can plan quite well in fulfilling tasks. And so the big picture person can tend to be more of the intuitive person, as we talked about in 16 personalities. And the little picture person can be more of the observing type of person. Now, where you are on the spectrum can determine how much of a big picture, little picture person you are. Some people can be right on the middle, and they can be lucky enough to know both types of perspectives. Now, when you are in a group of people and you understand these perspectives well and respect and acknowledge these traits, you can work together so beautifully. For example, a CEO can often have a big picture perspective, and the chief financial officer can be more of a little picture perspective. And if they acknowledge that, they can work well together. Now, of course, you can create this behavior as learned behavior and learn about the other perspectives. And you can use systems and processes and tools to achieve that. I have created a simple tool called Big Little Picture Cards to achieve just that, to be able to get a better perspective of the other side of the trait. So I'll just show you what they look like. So here's the big picture. So the big picture card has that image of the world on the front, and on the back is the question, what is the purpose of that? Now, the little picture card has, of course, it's got a magnifying glass, and on the back, it's got the question, what is an example of that? So when you're up in the clouds with big picture thinking, sometimes you need a little picture hint to ask, what is an example of that? To help bring you down from that helicopter view to the ground. And then for people on the ground, you need to introduce a bigger picture to them and keep on asking them, what is the purpose of that? What is the purpose of that? What is the purpose of that? To get a greater, bigger picture view. So to give you an example of how I've used it, I was asked by a community centre to work with their staff and their board to develop their strategic direction and to particularly work with the board of directors and coach them in how they can work together more effectively, particularly when they had one and a couple of people that focused on the little picture perspective. So I gave every board member a set of cards. And in that first meeting that I showed them how to use the cards, and they were just having their normal meeting and conversation about what they're trying to work on, this one particular person kept on bringing up their little picture perspective. So people in the group brought out the big picture card and asking them, what is the purpose of that? And during that meeting, and this person actually seeing that they were often putting out the little picture and needed to be constantly asked, what is the purpose of that? They recognized that they were focused on little picture thinking. So this person, this woman, actually went and said, oh my goodness, I'm focused on little picture thinking, and I didn't realize. And from then on, she was able to actually shift her thinking. Yes, sometimes little prompts from other people in the meeting, but she was able to actually recognize that she was stopping the big picture thinking. And any big picture people in the group, she was able to help them remember that little picture thinking was important. So the outcome was fantastic, and the whole board was able to move forward more effectively and achieve the goals that they set out to achieve. Now, another way that I've used it was when I was training Certificate for Community Services students. These were staff of community organisations, and they got the big picture and little picture cards. And of course, they also did the 16 personalities questionnaire. And I gave them some fun exercises to understand the different traits. Now, interestingly, I was mostly the only big picture person in the room. Most of the others were little picture thinkers. Now, as much as I planned my delivery, acknowledging that, of course, being a big picture thinking person, at times I got a little carried away and excited by big picture ways of thinking. So what they would often do is call out, "Hey," and they'd show up the card. "What is an example of that?" And then we'd all burst out in laughter. So it really creates a fun, creative environment for us to work together and respect and acknowledge each other's way of being. So I really recommend you read the infographic and print out your big picture, little picture cards, and really work together to acknowledge and respect each ways each person thinks. Because when you bring respect and acknowledgement to the table, more people work more closely and harmoniously. And so have that little bit of laughter and fun to that serious conversation, and enjoy working with your big little picture cards. So goodbye. See you next week.